Good evening, readers. It's Tilly here from Tilly's Shelf, and I'm here this evening, like the good Sagalong co-host that I am, to film a video on time about the first part of my saga for part 2 of Sagalong, which is the saga of the Volsungs. Before I start, I have actually got my piece of paper here where I've written down the names of all of the co-hosts. So, the co-hosts for Sagalong, we are all reading different sagas for this part. You've got Elizabeth at Bookish North, Lukash at Totally Pretentious, Mark at Richardson Reads, Elena Macrodina, Steve Donoghue, Jason from Byways in Booklands, and Michael McGrath. So if you check out all of their channels or use the hashtag Sagalong, you should be able to find out about a range of different sagas that people are talking about. So, the saga of the Volsungs. In my recent video, as recent as Thursday, I told you that I had just struggled to the end of the Laxdela saga and found it fascinating and interesting, but really kind of struggled to get through it as swiftly as I thought I might do. Laxdela saga, I definitely am not like far and away into it. I'm not halfway through, but I think I'm up to chapter 10, and it's a pretty small book. A lot of the section at the back is notes. This copy is a Penguin copy. It was translated by Jessie L. Byock quite recently, and it's a really, really good translation with really, really good notes. So I would recommend it if you're looking for one. So what makes the Saga of the Volsungs so good? It's basically a story woven out of fairy tales. So far, sorry, that's Luna just having a little go at my notebook. So far we have had people eating magical apples with links to kind of like childbearing and fertility. We've had children led into the woods by their malicious mothers and tempted with bread and then brutally murdered. We've had grown men transforming into wolves in the night. It's really, what I love about this is it's really showing me how every European folk tale has such strong connections to Icelandic myth. I can't remember exactly when this was written. I think it was around like the 1270s. I'm not going to look it up now, it'll take too long. I will tell you in a more detailed video next week. But I can really, really see why this saga was the darling of Tolkien and William Morris and other people like that. You know, it's really having a lot of fun there with my notebook. Because it's just got this brilliant magical quality and a lot of familiarity to it. It's not like a huge list of this person married this person and not little anecdotes or stories about the exchange of land and so on. It's really all about like kings and queens and espionage and just brilliant relationships. But told in that very succinct manner that is familiar from fairy tales, where you'll just like skip through a story in a few pages and then that's the end of that section. So I would highly recommend the Saga of the Volsungs if you are looking for another saga to pick up. I would say that this is probably my favourite saga so far. It is also the least Icelandic because it is set sort of in Central Europe, and it's one of the stories that was brought over to Iceland from kind of longer ago in the history of what William Morris calls the Northmen. If you're looking for an interesting piece of historiography, I suppose, like you can read William Morris's introduction to his translation of this saga, which is available for free via Gutenberg, and it's basically as much a window on the Victorian era as it is on any kind of Icelandic literature. So anyway, highly recommend this saga. I hope you're all well, and speak to you soon. Bye.